Hi everyone, hope you're well. Hope you're keeping safe and warm now that winter is fully upon us. Yesterday I did a blog defending one of the characters from the amazing series of books called The Infernal Devices, written by Cassandra Clare. The books are The Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess. Now, if you're reading these books at the moment and don't want any spoilers, or you're halfway through the last book and don't want any spoilers, I would suggest stopping this now, because I am going to be giving away some spoilers. Okay, so basically, yesterday I did a blog defending Tessa Gray. Tessa is the main heroine of the series of books. She's a young girl from America, believes she's coming over here to meet her brother, Nate, only to find herself in a world where there's vampires and werewolves, warlocks and shadow hunters. Two of the shadow hunters she meets are William Herondale and James Carstairs, Jem for short. In the first book, you believe she's falling for Will. She's going to end up with Will by the end of the book. But Will believes he's cursed, and he kind of pushes Tessa away, and he's like, everybody who I love dies, everybody around me dies, and he tries to be pretty horrible to her. Like, he's kind of like, in his own mind, he's doing it for the best reasons. He's pushing her away to protect her. In the second book, she ends up with Jem and becomes engaged to Jem. Around this time, you also do find out that the curse on Will was fake. There was never any curse, and Will's world just blows up because he believes he's being horrible to people, and he just finally sees that he is deserving of love and he is allowed to love people. He thinks the only person he should have loved was Jem, because Jem is dying anyway. So, and one of Will's lines is, Jem is my greatest sin. But at this point, Will goes back to the Shadowhunters to say, basically to tell Tessa he's in love with her, he's always loved her, and everything. And my phone's just gone off, sorry. He's basically goes to Tessa to tell her all this, only to find out she's become engaged to Jem. The third book is Jem is on the brink of death. There's no yin-fen left for him. Mortmain has basically, he's got total control over the yin-fen. So Jem's doubling his amount so that he can go out and fight, and he can take on whatever Mortmain's got to throw at him. Now, this is where I get really annoyed, because this book, and it's nothing to do with the books, and it's nothing to do with Cassandra Clare, but what really annoys me is there is a lot of hate for Tessa towards the end of this book. And Tessa, one thing I love about Tessa is she's not your run-of-the-mill damsel in distress. She can fight, she can go toe-to-toe with vampires and werewolves. She punches one of the werewolves Wolsey Scott, and she isn't one of these people in the books, your regular damsels, oh, woe is me, oh, I'm the girl, I need saving. She'll fight side by side with Will and Jem, and she'll fight side by side with the other Shadowhunters. She's not afraid to step up to the mark. And that is what I do like about her, that I really think is fantastic about Tessa. But, as I say, a lot of people kind of, they miss the point of what happens in part of the book, because Tessa ends up getting kidnapped by Mortmain. And Mortmain is the main bad guy. He's a big bad. The story is that he wants Tessa to carry his children, so he can find a way to destroy the Shadowhunters, to wipe the Shadowhunters out. There's something in her blood that would make this possible. So, he wants to use that to his end. And he basically wants to use Tessa as a baby factory. And that is all he wants her for. He doesn't love Tessa. He says he'll marry her. You know, it's set in Victorian England, so back then it was a proper thing to do, to marry before you had children. Jem, at this point, is on, as I say, he's already on the brink of death. Mortmain has everything, he holds all the cards. He hears Magnus say to Will about Will being in love with Tessa. Will thinks Jem's out of it and doesn't know Jem is. But when Jem wakes up, Jem asks him about it, and it is the biggest moment I've ever read, because you could feel the colour as you read him. You can actually feel the colour drain out of Will's face, and it's the only time Will is actually, I'd say, being lost for words. So basically, you've got this 45, 50-year-old man. Tessa is 17, 18, and basically you've got this 45-year-old man saying to you, I'm going to use you as a baby factory, I'm going to make you have my children, and there's nothing you can do about it, which in my mind is akin to rape. It is like basically saying, consent or no consent, this is going to happen, you will carry my children. And Jem basically says to Will, go find Tessa, and what happens. You always be my Parbatai, you'll always be my brother. Go and save Tessa. Do what I can't, but what I want to do. So Will goes off, and Will finds Tessa. And they're in Cara Idris, which is a mountain in Wales. And yeah, you know what's coming next. Yeah. So, and that is when people get annoyed because Tessa sleeps with Will. But like I said, you've got a 45, 50-year-old man. You are a 17, 18-year-old girl. You've got two boys who love you, will die for you, lay down your life for you. And one of them shows up, and you tell him everything. What are you going to pick? You think this is your last night on earth. You think that in the morning you are going to die. You think that either you watch one of the men you love die, or you're going to die yourself, or you're both going to die. What are you going to do? I know which one I would pick. I would pick Will. But again, a lot of people think that Tessa shouldn't have done this. Yes, she was engaged to Jem, but both Will and Tessa, believe Jem is dead at this point. So basically, they sleep together because just chuck everything out out of the world, no risks, nothing, no comeback. This is like the one chance of what they think is the one chance of happiness. So they're gonna take it. They take it with both hands. So, if this was something in real life or something where this actually happened, I would not condone cheating. I would not condone anything like that, or two-timing, or even if you believe that somebody they loved was dead. I think if this was real life, I wouldn't condone it. But it is just so... It fits with the story. It isn't just kind of, oh, Bill and Tessa slept together. It is do or die. And I think that's why I can understand why I don't get so annoyed. And I think that the fact that Jem kind of give Will his consent, it's kind of because Jem knew that and made his mind up over what had to be done, what needed to be done, the fact that he was going to become a silent brother, the fact that he was going to give everything up anyway, so because he saw that Will could have a shot of happiness with Tessa. And so Jem, in his mind, at that point, had decided to give everything up, to lay down his heart like Will had for him. So I think as well, the fact that Jem kind of said, I'm giving you my permission, you have my consent, be the man for her that I want to be. Which Will, in the end, he is. I think though, if it had been Jem, if Jem had been well enough to turn up to Camp Idris, and Jem had been the one to save Tessa, I think the same thing would have happened. Jem and Tessa would have slept together. I think at that point, one of the Lightwood brothers could have walked in, and she could have slept with any of it. I think even Henry, this is Charlotte's husband, could have walked in and saved her, and she would. It's that kind of this is my last day on Earth. I'm taking all the power back from Mortmain. So yeah, Tessa, she's not a whore. She's not a slut. She is so well written, and like I said at the start, she isn't one of these heroine characters who's, oh, woe is me, oh, I'm the damsel, I need saving. She is so strong, and I think that's why Tessa should have so much respect and so much. She deserves so much more than to be hated on because of something that she did to save her life, or to take control back. And like I say, I recommend these books to everybody. You really should read them. Right, I think that's all for now. I'm sorry about the poor quality of the video, but for some reason my phone has decided it doesn't want to take any videos, so I've had to do it on my laptop, so I apologise for poor quality. Okay, so I will say goodbye now, and speak to you all soon.